Now, it was his time at an Australian school that King Charles III says was by far the best part of his entire education. But the 17-year-old's princely title at the time didn't stop his classmates getting stuck into him.
Timbertop Mountain, Victoria, site of Geelong Grammar's rugged outdoor school. And from early next year, it will have a new student, Prince Charles.
He was only 17, so we treated him pretty much as one of us.
He amazed me in a sense that he was able to adapt in time so well to very different circumstances.
Cutting firewood, running all the cross countries. He was required to do everything that we did.
My God, he was good for the character.
An hour's drive from Melbourne on lush green grounds stand the red brick buildings of the Aussie school that helped shape King Charles III. Geelong Grammar is one of Australia's most historic schools. The likes of Rupert Murdoch and Kerry Packer were both students here. King Charles arrived in 1966, spending his time at the school's high country campus, Timbertop. But it's an experience the King has remembered fondly, even sharing that his regal status didn't spare him some friendly ribbing from his Aussie classmates. King Charles recalling some of that schoolyard banter at a London event in 2011.
I've been through my fair share of being called a pommy bastard, I can assure you.
Jonathan Southey, or Johnny, was there in 1966 when Charles arrived at Timbertop.
We treated him pretty much as one of us. And we all took the piss out of each other. Australia's a great nation of piss takers, and I've always been of the view that if somebody is taking the piss out of you, it generally means they like you.
As Johnny read of the proclamation of his former classmate this week, he recalled that the then Prince shirked none of the duties expected of a Timbertop student.
You can imagine how many dirty bowls and plates there were left after 120 unruly and starving boys had eaten. A handful of us on a rotational basis were required to clean up all the crockery and cutlery and what have you, and Charles took his turn at that.
Most students at Timbertop in those days were about 14 years old. Charles was 17, and Stuart McGregor was selected from the older year level to be a companion for the future king.
The day came when the cars drove up the drive. The headmaster and the head of Timbertop greeted Prince Charles as he was, and I was part of that group.
The pair would spend hours together as roommates and became lifelong friends.
Our friendship developed and grew and remains in place today. So I think he is an exceptional person with exceptional skills, and we will now see those exhibited in the interests of the Commonwealth and of Australia.
Among those skills, according to Johnny, is discretion. And there's a story here. Johnny, what happened the night Prince Charles caught you smoking in the boiler room?
I was in the boiler room one night having one of these cigarettes, and Prince Charles walked in. He looked dismayed and said, Southey, you should know better than that. And he confiscated the cigarette and off he went. And I was about to light up another one when, quite predictably enough, God, I must have been so stupid, I still am, he came back as I was about to light up another one and said, Southey, I better have the rest of the pack.
Charles was effectively a prefect and should have reported Johnny to the masters, but it would appear that even back then, Charles's royal nature was one of mercy.
Nothing happened, so I worked out that Charles spared me, and to have been spared by the King of England fills me full of gratitude, and that's a sign of the compassion that I expect him to bring to his reign.